back to the Amazing Movement podcast. As many of you know, I have a Pilates studio in Wayne, Pennsylvania since 2002, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with what a classical Pilates studio looks like. So this is our reception area where people come in and you take off your shoes before you cross the threshold into the studio area. And here is where we have our small group classes. And we have 5 pieces of equipment in Pilates. So you'll see this piece here that's longer than your body, and that's where mat work occurs. And then this is the tower system where we have springs and pulleys to close your movement chain so that you have some feedback as to your movement through space, which is called proprioception. It's also longer than your body. These pieces of equipment, you'll see there's a split in the middle, convert over into a reformer, which many people have heard about, reformer classes. And the piece here, the carriage itself is the size of your torso, and then there's a headrest, shoulder blocks, foot bar, and it moves back and forth. And it's called a reformer because it makes both sides of your body work equally, where over here, you have to find your place in space. So it's called the universal reformer, formally, because it will reform both sides of your body so that you're in balance. And then behind our videographer, Melissa, are what's called the chairs. And so most of our life we spend upright, and so this is a vertical replication of the reformer. All the movements that we can do on any piece of equipment can be replicated on another. So if you do beginner to advanced movements in Pilates, inside these walls on what are basically 5 pieces of equipment, there are 6,000 movements. To our side here are called the ladder barrels. So in the front, it's a barrel, in the back is a ladder. And on this piece, it doesn't have it's a stable piece. But there are very limited movements that you can do as a beginner. But so this is your beginner or advanced, there's not a lot in between. But depends on how creative your instructor is, and that they teach you how to use each piece. Then we have another room where we have standalone equipment, and this one's called the Cadillac. So you'll see it's higher. It's called a therapeutic height, so that people that can't get down lower or need just to boost up. And it's also nice for the teachers because then they don't have to bend over as much as they do on the lower pieces of equipment. And it has a cage around it where you can actually do a lot of gymnastic type of equipment, like parallel bars. You can hang upside down. You can do chin-ups. So it's a very versatile piece, but it's also therapeutic. Over here we have standalone reformers, where the other one's converted in the other row. A chair in the back that's red, it's called the Wanda chair. And as you can see, it's leather on all sides. It can be flipped over to actually be used as a serviceable chair that makes you sit in proper posture. This is just a larger version of what's out there. And my studio is called Pilates More because the and more is not only that it's a community of people that are moving well together, the and more in here we call the sanctuary. And we have an amazing massage therapist who is also educated in what's called Neurokinesis, like how does your brain connect with your body to move, and are all your parts firing? So she does massage here, and on this side there's a mat for Thai massage or stretching. So we call this a sanctuary. And we also have acupuncture within these walls. Now we're heading over to see, we have 2 rooms because when you come in for acupuncture, the therapy is applied, and then you rest in with the needles for 20 to 30 minutes, I believe. And then while that's going on, another client can be served in a second room. So that's our story here at Pilates and More, and an education on what a classical Pilates studio looks like.